And you just accept that life is just life. There's no master plan. Even if you believe there's a master plan, there is no master plan, right? The moment that happens, you are truly, truly free. Hey, good morning. It's a beautiful day. Morning walk episode 102, and thanks for joining me for a walk at Pinnarendi station. This place is a few hundred kilometres inland from Cairns in far north Queensland. And I'll tell you what, it's the first time in 2 months that I actually felt like I wanted to put on a jumper, because it's really chilly this morning compared to where we've been. Oh, it's probably still like 20 degrees, so it's just an amazing morning. Let's go for a walk, shall we? Pinnarendi is a working cattle station. They run couple hundred head of cattle here. They also have this amazing camping homestay sort of thing where you can bring your caravan in and stay overnight. And the owner, Nadine, cooks up the most unbelievable feed for you. So it's just been one of those great things to do before we get back into kind of like real civilization, right? Over the last 2 months, I want to say 77 days to be precise, we've been pretty isolated, but it's been extraordinary. From like the emptiness of outback Queensland, going up through Longreach and Mount Isa, down through the Devil's Marbles, which was mind-blowing, Alice Springs, and then heading further south to a place called like Rainbow Valley, which I'd never heard of before even, which was just beautiful. We had this incredible sunset with the moon coming up. Then out to Uluru, which is the most special place, really. It's Uluru and Catatudo, just lift your heart away. And then we went through the Kings Canyon, the Pinnarendi Loop, where our caravan had a few issues because we lost a D-shackle, all of which have happily been fixed. And then pushing north into the great top end of Australia, Mataranka Hot Springs, Dally Waters Pub, onto Darwin, Litchfield National Park, Kakadu. I don't know. Been just amazing. It's funny to come here, right? Like, we're only a couple of 100 kilometres now from the east coast, where there's a lot more population, a lot more people. It kind of feels like the end of chapter 1 of this trip. I don't know how long we're going to be away for exactly, but chapter 1 feels like it's kind of closing. And you know, the outback, the top end of Australia, we've done that now, and the next stop is the Queensland east coast, which is good because I've actually got a bit of work that I need to get done now. So these 2 months completely free have been just an absolute blessing. And this is a nice way to transition, getting back into civilization. Last 10 days or so have been kind of epic because we've been pretty much off grid on some pretty rough dirt roads. Went down through a place called Limon National Park, Lorella Springs, and then down to Hell's Gate Roadhouse. Hell's Gate Roadhouse, mate, look out. And then Budgemulla. Budgemulla is a national park, Lawn Hill. Once again, never heard of it. All these places in Australia that I've never even heard of, which were just breathtaking and stunning and full of tens of thousands of years of culture. Just waiting there to be discovered. But the roads, the last week have been rough. Some of it's been really rough. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a nickel by the that way. Let's go that way. Check this out. It's like a termite nest. Isn't it just absolutely enormous? And it's round. That's something I definitely didn't expect. There to be so many termite nests all over Australia. I mean, I knew we had termites and stuff, but just sheer volume of them just boggles the mind. Well, you can see the big dam here at Pinnarendi. It's a big dam, all right, but God, it's starting to run a little bit low. Until it's the end of the dry season here in Northern Australia. They're pretty desperate for some rain by the looks of things. You know what? I reckon the most important thing that I've learned on this whole trip is that opportunity is everywhere, as long as you're willing to take it. And you're not like going to be a snob about what you do or have an ego or expectations about what life should be offering you. I met these great guys at Hell's Gate Roadhouse. Now, Hell's Gate Roadhouse is kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's 320 k's to the next town in one direction and like 100 k's in the other direction to the next small town, and in the middle of all this like nasty dirt road that you've got to drive along. I met this great French couple there, Sarah and Alex. And those guys were looking to renew their visa. And here in Australia, I don't know if you know that, but if you come here on a working holiday visa from some countries, one of the ways to be able to stay longer in Australia is if you go and work somewhere out in the outback, like you go and do fruit picking, or you work in like a really remote location. And so Sarah and Alex had found this roadhouse to go and work at. And like, these guys are university educated, super nice, you know, connected. They've got heaps of opportunities elsewhere. But if they'd just gone and like picked berries and, you know, complained, well, they'd probably be home in France right now. But as a result of them being happy to stretch their comfort zone and, you know, ditch their ego, they're now pretty much like running this roadhouse in the middle of nowhere. And it might not sound like much, but it's giving them the most awesome experience, you know. They're running the logistics of having guests checking in, checking out. They're running fuel, they're ordering food, they're making sure that they're using up all of their supplies. You know, the amount of skills that they'll get out of doing that, as well as being paid better than if they were doing fruit picking, is really amazing. So even in the middle of nowhere, there are these like opportunities that are available. As long as you're willing to step outside your comfort zone, as long as you're willing to step away from your ego and say to yourself, I'm so good, I shouldn't have to do that kind of menial work. No, you're not. Like, no, any of us aren't. We all need to be able to step away from that ego and just say, yeah, I'm going to go do that, because there's opportunities everywhere. We've just got to be open to them. That story of Alex and Sarah, it really shows that, you know, if you're not valued somewhere, then you need to go somewhere else where you are valued. They might be in the middle of nowhere at this roadhouse now, but their boss is like super grateful every day that they're there, because they're like skilled and they're running the place, and he's got to be off like mustering cattle and, you know, looking after the station. So if you're not valued somewhere, get out of there, go somewhere else, because life is just too short. You're giving yourself your most precious asset, your time, to something where they don't really care, they don't appreciate it. Just get out of there. And so I think that's the most important thing for you to know today, is that you're completely free. The only thing that holds you back is your ego. You know, if you have one, which we all do, we're all human. That ego that says, oh no, that's below me. Or, oh no, that wasn't the way it was supposed to be. I expected it to be something else. The moment you take that voice and you release it, you just let it drift away, and you just accept that life is just life. There's no master plan. Even if you believe there's a master plan, there is no master plan, right? The moment that happens, you are truly, truly free. And what else could be better than being free? Whatever you're getting up to, I hope you're having an awesome day. And thanks for joining me for a walk here. This whole adventure around Australia continues in chapter 2 as we go down the Queensland coast. Have yourself an amazing day. I'll see you next time on The Morning Walk. I'm Rob Malicki.